this Clippers team, they're good. They're really good. I think they can do some damage in the West.
I don't have faith in them come playoff time, though.
No.
I really don't see them beating the Spurs in a 7-game series. I don't see them beating Oklahoma City in a 7-game series. I don't even see them beating Memphis in a 7-game series.
See, I think they'll take Memphis. I think San Antonio and OKC might be
I'm telling
too
you,
much.
Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph would shut down Blake Griffin.
Yeah, but Blake Griffin doesn't do that much. He's more of a high flyer. And he's made fun of for being a wussy down low.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
he'll
that's
get
hysterical
pushed around.
to me, but...
I think he'll get beat up down low. They
He
don't
will.
have a center. Who's their center out there with the Clippers? They don't have any big men other than him, pretty much.
No, they don't. You got DeAndre Jordan, but he's the same thing as Blake Griffin. He's a high-flying, get the rebound for a dunk kind of guy, not get a rebound and just to get grimy and fight for rebounds. Yeah, they are a up and down, run the court type of team. There's no question. You get them in a half-court offense, and if Chris Paul can't do anything, they're in trouble. I won't argue with you on that one. But Jamal Crawford coming off the bench, they play pretty damn good defense. I think they could do some damage in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the Western
They may
Conference
win
Finals.
one playoff series. They're not winning two.
See, I think they can win too, based on who they get in that second round. If they get OKC in the second round, then I don't think they get out of the second round. I think if they get San Antonio, though, I think they can give San Antonio a run for their money.
No. San Antonio's just too good. They are. They're just too solid all around.
I don't think I'm not taking anything away from that, how good I think San Antonio is. I
think San Antonio, though, just shuts down Lob City. I don't think they do anything. I don't think they would have the firepower needed to beat a team like San Antonio, who can not only score but play defense.
Yeah, I disagree. I think the Clippers can. I think the Clippers can, without a doubt, give San Antonio a run for their money. I believe they've beaten them both times they played them
what
this
gives
year.
you that indication, though? Like, what is it about the team?
Because they play some of the best basketball in the NBA right now. They play good team ball. They have arguably the best point guard in the NBA running the point. He can play defense. He can score. It's not like the DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin can't play down low.
They really, against guys like Duncan, against guys like Gasol and Zach Randolph, they're not going to be able to play against those guys.
You just got a body Duncan nowadays, man. He's not the same that he used to be. He's without a doubt not the focal point of what they do on offense.
No, he doesn't
anymore.
have to be the focal point, but on defense, he's shutting down Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan.
Tim Duncan is?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
In the playoffs?
Stop
You're delusional.
He's going to be on the other end of the court when they're running down, jumping after alley-oops. Come on.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't think San Antonio would take the ball and control the pace of that game, they're not going to allow a lot of fast break points. They're not that type of team that puts themselves out of position to have a lot of that fast breaks, go against them.
But keep in mind, we're also talking a 7-game series. To do it all 7 games is just not going to happen.
What?
What you're talking about. To do that all 7 games, to consistently stop them from running the court, to consistently stop them from this and from that, it's just not going to happen because it's a 7-game series. It's all about adjustments in the 7-game series. Well, they ran on us this time, so we'll stop it this time. They did this time, so we'll try to stop that this time. It's all adjustments when they play 7-game series.
So you honestly think if the Clippers play San Antonio in the playoffs, the Clippers are winning that series?
I think they have one hell of a chance, yeah.
That's not, listen, I'm not asking, listen, I get that from Mike. I want from you a straight answer. If they played right now, if the season ended right now, they're in a 7-game playoff, they're playing San Antonio, who wins in 7 games?
Right now, from what I've watched, I'll take the Clippers.
You're taking Clippers in how many games?
And I think that series would go 7.
See, me, I got San Antonio in 5.
Oh, you're crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You even know you're crazy.
I'm not crazy
yes,
on this.
You are.
I'm not.
In 5?
In 5. 5.
Second best record in the West.
When was the last
Second
time
best
you
record
can
in the
remember a
NBA.
really, really, really good Clipper team?
Never.
Exactly. So what makes you think this is the year that they have the epiphany and all of a sudden the Clippers are going to be the team in LA? They're not. They're not. Come on.
They already are the team in LA right now. The Lakers suck.
The Lakers may suck, but they're still getting more publicity than the Clippers.
They're getting more negative publicity.
Listen, publicity is publicity.
Negative publicity.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Haven't you heard the saying, any publicity is good publicity?
Yes, I've heard that saying.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Doesn't
Nobody wants to talk about the Clippers. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, they're doing good right now. They're playing nice. They're playing good ball.
Look,
yeah,
if it's coming
they're
down
playing...
to attention, I mean, come on. San Antonio is one of the quietest teams in the entire league.
Well, I'm just saying that the Clippers aren't... People still have no faith in L.A. in the Clippers.
That's great. I do.
I will sit here and think you're delusional.
And I will sit here and think you're crazy. I'm sorry. But this team has a better record than the Spurs. It's played one game less. And yet... they still have a better record than the Spurs. They're winning by more points per game than the Spurs. They're playing a rougher schedule than the Spurs as of right now. So, based on what I'm watching now, I don't think I'm delusional at all for thinking what I'm thinking. We watched San Antonio go up, excuse me, I believe 2-0 on OKC last year. And then that young, inexperienced team.
I can't believe you are comparing the Clippers to OKC.
No, I am giving you an example of the fact that San Antonio's time, in my opinion, if they have any left, is pretty much this. They have maybe this year. Maybe one more.
Did you just literally compare the Clippers to OKC, though?
No.
Because the Clippers are not OKC.
I never compared them to them.
You just said, oh, well, they were able to go 2-0
no,
on
I'm telling
OKC.
you what the real reality of the world is. This took place last year.
Yeah.
San Antonio.
But that's what I'm saying.
This great basketball team with this great head coach that I completely agree with both those statements. We're up 2-0 in a series.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Clippers. And when you bring up last year's series against OKC, it says to me that you're comparing the Clippers to OKC.
No, I'm trying to demonstrate the fact that San Antonio, no matter how good they are not invincible.
They're not invincible, but they're good enough to beat the Clippers. That's my point.
Anybody in the NBA is good enough to beat anybody else in the NBA for the most part.
In a 7-game series in the playoffs, San Antonio beats them, OKC beats them, Memphis beats them, and I'll tell you what, they better watch out because they don't want the Lakers in the playoffs. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how the season has gone so far. That team is just stacked with talent, and eventually they'll figure it out in some way, shape, or form there. The Clippers are hoping that the Lakers suck all year long. They're hoping somehow, some magical way, the Lakers miss the playoffs. That is OKC's dream right now. Or not OKC, I'm sorry, the Clippers' dream right now is that the Lakers somehow can miss the playoffs. They don't want to see any of those four teams.
Clippers 2-0 against San Antonio this year, winning by almost 15 a game.
Knicks won by 20 apiece over Miami. Not many people are going to sit here today and say Miami should be scared of the Knicks in a 7-game series. The Bulls have blown the Knicks out twice. And the Heat. Right now, are you going to take the Bulls over either of them in a 7-game series, though? Maybe you'll take them over the Knicks. You're not taking them over the Heat.
Well,
regular season's regular season.
Here. When it comes down to it, the bottom line of it is that there is no straight right or wrong answer on this one. I'm just telling you that I think that they have the ability to beat San Antonio in a playoff series.
I'm telling you, I will never, in the recent future, in the near future, in the next 10 years, see Clippers win. It's not going to happen.
Win what?
The championship. Get past even probably the second round.
So you're saying in the next 10 years, you don't think the Los Angeles Clippers...
I don't think they're that good.
Could even get past the second round.
First of all, Chris Paul could leave after this year. Second off, they don't have any interior play. And I know you're saying they're playing great ball right now, but that's not going to last forever. They don't play any defense. That's the Knicks' problem, is they have all this talent, but they didn't play defense. They've stopped playing defense as of recently, and that's why they've gone down the crapper in the last 10 games. I don't see this team being physical enough come playoff time. I don't see them being mentally strong enough. Blake Griffin is not a mentally strong guy. He's not a playoff caliber guy. He folds. He's a bitch. I said it back when he was in college. And it's the truth. The Clippers go nowhere. I'll state it now.
Look, have you actually watched the Clippers play ball?
I've watched them.
Have you actually watched them though?
I've watched them maybe, I'd say about a game, maybe game and a half worth
then
so far
just
this year.
Stop.
No.
You cannot formulate an opinion.
First of
just
all, I'm
of
not
a
on West Coast
atrocious history. Because
That's
of
all you
their
have to go
atrocious
on.
history, you're going to say that this team...
I'm going to say this team isn't built for a championship. I will say it now.